What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid, coming at you with another Destiny video. Today, I look at this as a huge day in Destiny. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to get our Year 3 Gjallarhorn. Yes, that's right, the rocket launcher that was absolutely everybody's darling in Year 1. It's back, it's a quest item, and what we're going to do is walk you through the entire quest. You can see as soon as I got mine, I automatically leveled this thing up. Last night, I pretty much had the choice. I had to make a decision. Was I going to go after the Kvostov or the Gjallarhorn? I went all Gjallarhorn all the way, and I am not going to be disappointed. So first things first, you're going to need to complete the main story, the 5 main missions of the story of the Rise of Iron. Make sure you complete that, and make sure you have a Splicer key. Those are pretty much the only 2 prerequisites you're going to need in order to get started on this quest. So I want to say this right off the bat, even though this will be a 100% complete walkthrough, I'm going to leave out some of the fun stuff of this mission, just so that you can experience it for yourself. I'm going to leave out some of the stuff that's going on in it, but I'm going to show you absolutely everything that you need to do in order to complete this quest. And it starts up by picking up that patrol mission. You're basically told to come out here towards the Archon's Forge, and you need to discover something. You need to discover the anomaly. Well, you get that by picking up a patrol mission. You can see whenever I was out here at the Archon's Forge, or around the outside of the Archon's Forge, there were a lot of these missions. And what they're going to do is they're going to send me into the actual Archon's Forge. And that's where we're going to get started. Now, you've already been here if you completed the story, which you need to in order to get this quest unlocked. And what we need to do is we need to actually go past and through the Archon's Forge and get to our next step. So we just run through here, we've got to run through all of the SIVA, and then we're going to get to our next step, which is pretty much the first stage of this entire quest. So just keep on running through here. You already know that it's basically just one line. And here's why we need our Splicer key. Because in order to open up this first door, we need a Splicer key. So hopefully you have one. I only had one. Thankfully, I didn't use it whenever I was up there, whenever another group was doing the Archon's Forge, and I can open up this gate, and now I'm going to go down towards my first objective. So as we come around here, I've got my axe, and I don't have a whole lot of experience with the axe, but whenever you come into this room, you've got an axe, and you've got this big, huge Devil Splicer walker. And let me tell you this, it's probably not a good idea to face this thing with an axe. It's probably not a really good idea to face this thing with an axe. This was actually my first experience in seeing this tank, and I decided I was going to go after it. And yeah, it's a bad idea. This thing is strong, this thing hurts a whole lot, and it's probably a bad idea to decide to attack it with an axe. So use your guns, do what you normally do against walkers, stay safe, shoot the legs. Whenever the leg goes down, go ahead and shoot the head, and you'll be able to take care of this thing. Don't be like me and charge at it with an axe, because it's a bad idea. So after this thing goes down, we're at our stage. We're exactly where we need to be. What we need to do is we need to scan the room, and as we walk around here around the dead walker, there it is. It says scan environment. Once we do that, we've completed the first step of getting our Gjallarhorn. So we're scanning that environment, and then boom, quest step is going to be completed. There we go. Okay, nice. So far, so good. We've got to go back. We've got to talk to Lord Saladin, and he's going to send us out to do some more stuff. Now, this is where things start to get a little bit interesting. What you have to do is you have to find these wolf heads. So these wolf heads are going to be the one thing that people are going to be looking for, but thankfully, at least they're not that difficult. First off, we have to go back inside and talk to Karn. Again, not a big deal, just walking back and forth. I really don't count the back and forth talking to people as a real part or stage of this entire bounty quest, but since you have to do it, I might as well show you. Boom, we're done talking to her. We have to go and we have to find these wolf heads, and they're out in various stages of pretty much the Plaguelands. Pretty much all around the Plaguelands. So what we'll see whenever we go into our bounty, we'll see that it wants to send us to a whole bunch of different locations. Now you can actually get all of them, well, all of them except for one in the Plaguelands on patrol. One of them we're actually going to pick up in Felwinter's Peak, but the rest of them you can actually get in the Plaguelands, though I did get one in a strike, and I'm going to show you why it's really easy to get it in a strike. So before we leave Felwinter's Peak, I swore I was never ever in my life going to come up here again. After doing the jumping puzzle to get all the way to the top of Felwinter's Peak, I'm done jumping. But the only thing that would make me want to jump again is the Gjallarhorn. That is literally the only reason I'm going up here. I will never come up here again. Never, never. I had my fill of jumping through these rocks getting to the top. I'm done. I'm not coming up here again. But here's our number 1 wolf. So we just need to pick this thing up. And we've got 1 out of 7 once this is complete. Like I said, after that, we're going to the Plaguelands. So the first one in the Plaguelands is really easy to get. It's pretty much right where you spawn in, right in this shack, and you can see it's nice that they pretty much locate it on the map for you. So if you're relatively close to an area, you'll at least get that notification that, hey, something's around here. So that's pretty nice. If you're just watching this video, though, you should get a really good idea of what's going on. From the Plaguelands where we started, go to the right, come down here into the Giant's Husk, and the second one is going to be up here. So we're going to just travel up here just a little bit. I don't know if there's an exact better way to get up to this location. I always just ran up that dirt pile and then up these ramps. What we want to do is we want to get up to where these cargo containers are. And the second wolf head is going to be up around here. So this one is pretty easy to see as well. Honestly, all of these wolf heads are pretty easy to see and pretty easy to find. Again, as I'm coming up here, I'm thinking it's right here, but it's not. It's just a little bit further ahead, and thankfully we get that notification up on screen, and I was easily able to drop down and get the second wolf medallion. So these Iron Medallions, these are going to be the things that are going to stump people for just a little bit during the quest. So hopefully this video ends up helping you. Again, from where we were just at, we just continue on back towards the Archon's Forge. You're very familiar with this area. We've now been at this area at least 2 different times because we completed the story and we were just here to do our anomaly patrol mission. As we come up, instead of actually going in towards the Archon's Forge, we see our next wolf head is right over here in this pile of dirt, and it's a little bit hidden. It blends in a little bit with that, but we can still see it. We can go ahead and pick that up, and now we've already got 4 Iron Medallions. 4 of them already. Now for the 5th one, don't leave the Archon's Forge. Actually go into the Archon's Forge and under it. We're pretty much going back where we were. We're backtracking just a little bit. We've got to go back to this room where there's some generators and some pipes. That's where we're going to find our 5th Iron Medallion. So yes, it is a little bit of backtracking. You have to pass the Archon's Forge. You have to go underneath. You have to go through these tight little spaces. And it's actually in this room that we're going to get our next one. And there are going to be some enemies here, so you might have to fight them, but you can pretty much avoid as much as humanly possible in it. And even if you die, who cares? You're only here to pick up 1 artifact anyway. It's just 1 medallion, and then you can go ahead and you can actually back out if you want. But in order to find this Iron Medallion, you could see it just popped up on my screen when I was fighting those enemies. And I was like, yes, okay. Right by these pipes, right in the back corner of the room. So there you have it, that is Iron Medallion number 5. Now for the 6th one, I got this right at the beginning of the Wretched Eye Strike. Again, you can get this on patrol. But it's right at the beginning of the strike, and you're probably going to be doing the strike anyway for another questline, so why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Why not? So it's actually in the beginning. I was kind of focusing on whatever these traps are on the ground, and it was actually giving me a little bit of a false positive where the actual Iron Medallion is. But it's actually just right here, right in front of this fallen container. There it is, right on the ground, Iron Medallion, Wolf Head, number 6. So we only have 1 left to go. And we're going to go back to the Plaguelands on patrol. But instead of going to the right, we're going to head left. So we're going to head left. And if you don't happen to pick up Iron Medallion number 6 on the Wretched Eye Strike, you can get it by doing it this way. You can pretty much pick up this 7th Iron Medallion and then continue going left through patrol, and you'll come across the exact same play area. But for us, this is going to be our 7th and final one. We go up in here, and there's just SIVA splicer enemies shooting us from all directions. As we pass by this doorway, boom, I saw that notification, hopped off, and there it is. There is the 7th Iron Medallion. So this is the final one that we needed to pick up. So that's pretty nice. After that, things start getting pretty interesting. We actually have to go into Bannerfall, and we have to do a little bit of a mission here. And let's just say, there's chaos that ensues, and all I can recommend to you is please jump, please move around, or you are going to die. If you stay stationary in this area, or in this mission, you're going to die absolutely. It is actually very chaotic and very fun. I had a really good time in doing this part of the mission. And it was a little bit challenging. It definitely was a little bit challenging. Like I said, I had to learn that really if I stayed still, I was absolutely dead. I personally recommend doing all of these Gjallarhorn missions solo. I think it's more fun solo because you really get to have this challenge and this experience and this white knuckle sensation of battles and just fun on your own. If you're with a team, it might be just a little bit easier. So I would just personally recommend doing all of this stuff solo. That's just my personal recommendation. I really enjoyed this. I had a really good time in doing these Gjallarhorn missions. And it's not over here. Just because I'm showing this particular part where we're defusing this bomb, it's not over. You're going to have to defuse 2 bombs, and some other stuff ends up happening. After that, you've got to go back and talk to Tyra, and she's going to tell you that you need to find 5 SIVA cores. Now for me, I already had 3 by the time I picked up that mission. Hopefully you have 5, if not, unfortunately I cannot show you where all the SIVA core locations are in this Gjallarhorn video. That would be ridiculous. But I'm just showing you where my 5th one was. I actually got this one in mission number 2. There are actually a number of ones that you can pick up in mission number 2, and there are a lot of good videos and guides out there. So they should be able to guide you to getting your 5. And after that, it's talking to Lord Saladin, and then we're ready to go. We are ready to go, and ready to finally build our own Gjallarhorn. So just like with the Bannerfall mission, you'll get another special mission on your director. You go ahead and pick it, you make your way up here, pull out your ghost, and there's your Gjallarhorn being built directly in front of you. Pretty cool. But in order to get it, you need to protect the area, and there is an absolutely chaotic battle. I'm not going to show you everything that's actually epic that's going on with this. I want you to experience it for yourself, because it's pretty cool. I don't want to rob you of that. You've got to hold down the location, but if you do clear out all of the ads, they won't spawn in anymore. And you can actually stand in and watch your Gjallarhorn get finished. You can stay in here and watch. The problem is, if you stay in this room, you're not actually going to increase the reputation bar at the bottom, so you need to back off, and you can stare, and you can gaze, and you can look fondly as your Gjallarhorn slowly gets built all the way to completion, and whenever it's finally ready to go, you're going to be itching and ready and dying to grab this rocket launcher that you haven't fired off since year 1 in its full power. I'm ready. Please, Ghost, just give me the Gjallarhorn finally. Let me have this baby. I'm ready. Give it to me. Just give it. Please. Please give it to me. Holy crap. Give me the Gjallarhorn. There it is, popping out of its exotic Ingram. Let's go ahead and get this baby. And there it is. There's our Gjallarhorn, but you're not done just yet. I'm not going to show you what happens next. You've got to go experience that on your own. Trust me, you're going to be glad that I don't show you all of those parts. You're going to want to experience the epicness for yourself. But there it is. We've got the rocket launcher. There's the Gjallarhorn. Now somebody asked me why I don't have the black iron Gjallarhorn on. Well, those of you that have already pre-ordered know that there is a level 3 Gjallarhorn that's sitting in our Postmaster. You really couldn't pick it up or utilize it until you actually had this version, and for me, I still have all of my exotic Ingrams on my character, so I'm keeping it in the Postmaster because I'm trying to hold on to some weapon space and some vault space in general until I pop all those Ingrams. After that, it's just going to talk to Lord Saladin to officially close out this quest, but you've got the rocket launcher. You've got the rocket launcher that everybody died for in year 1. And you've got it right now. Overall, the quest, it wasn't extremely difficult. I thought it was pretty fun. There was definitely some scouring and scavenging across the Plaguelands, but it was pretty cool overall, and I've got the Gjallarhorn now. And so will you. So anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your Rise of Iron, and I'll see you around in Destiny. Gjallarhorn, baby. Gjallarhorn.